vibes. We are live at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight there will be, and I mean only one, light heavyweight champion. No disputing any longer what we will see this evening. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Joe Rogan, I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome to UFC 44. Joe, the story's well documented. Tito was a holdout. Randy was a victor. Now we see who the real champion is tonight.
Well, clearly Tito is still the champion because he never lost his title in the octagon. But he didn't face the #1 contender in Chuck Liddell for whatever reasons. Randy Couture did, and he dismantled him, without a doubt making himself the most effective challenger ever. Without a doubt, he is the most dangerous guy that Tito has ever fought, and we're going to find out tonight who the best 205-pound fighter in the world is.
Well, Joe, the last time Tito Ortiz was in the octagon, he fought the world's most dangerous man, and he punished Ken Shamrock.
He punished Ken Shamrock, but without a doubt, Ken Shamrock does not have the type of skills and credentials that Randy Couture does. Randy Couture is a world-class wrestler, excellent striker, and an incredible competitor. This is, without a doubt, the toughest test Tito's ever faced.
Randy Couture, 40 years old, two-time heavyweight champion, now the interim champion of the light heavyweight division. For the first time ever, Big Tim Sylvia will defend his belt. Sylvia comes in at 6'8". The Maniac goes against 6'10" Gan McGee. Both weigh 265 pounds. The middleweights, the Canadian David Loiseau, devastating against Mark Weir. The debut for former construction worker building a mixed martial arts career will feature Jorge Rivera. And then the light heavyweights, as we spoke of. 1-0 in the octagon, 14-0 in mixed martial arts. That man is Rich Franklin. His opponent tonight is making his UFC debut. He holds 27 mixed martial arts wins. Edwin Babyface DeWeese. What an exciting night we have in store for you. UFC 44, Undisputed. The rules of the octagon, as always, 3 judges will score the bout. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds, or for our 2 championship fights, 5 5-minute rounds. As always, a 10-point must system is in effect, the round winner gaining the 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. In the USA Today, Danny Sheraton calls Tim Sylvia the favorite to defeat Gan McGee and defend his heavyweight title, and Tito Ortiz a 2-1 favorite over Randy the Natural Couture for the light heavyweight championship. Here at the Mandalay Bay, Sylvia is the favorite, as is Tito Ortiz, and we'll keep an eye on Jorge Rivera taking on David Loiseau. We begin with the lightweights. Hermes Franca, his second time in the octagon, a fighter willing to bring it against the unflappable Japanese superstar, Carl Uno. Franca is 29 from Brazil. Uno is 28 from Japan. They both weigh 155 pounds. Sean Brockmo, our referee, assigned by the Nevada Athletic Commission, and we are set for the lightweight matchup. A show of respect, a touch of the gloves, and here we go.
I look for Uno to keep this standing. Uno is right when I say that, Hermes Franca throws a kick. Uno should be the better stand-up fighter in this matchup. But I do believe Franca's better on the ground.
Carl Uno, he has fought and defeated many of the greatest fighters in the world. And one thing he is, as we mentioned, is unflappable and extremely experienced and fighting against great talent.
Absolutely, he's an excellent professional fighter. A complete mixed martial arts fighter.
Seems so subdued when you see him walking around prior to a fight, but when he gets inside the gated walls, he is ready to do battle.
He's got double underhooks here. Oh, look at that, it went against him. Hermes Franca's got side control now. This is a bad position for Uno.
Jiu-jitsu is his game. Crazy submissions for Hermes Franca.
Uno has excellent defense, though. He got his knee inside. He's looking to claim guard. Here he goes. Okay, he's moving around. Uh-oh. He's got a leg lock. Hermes Franca's got a hold of his ankle.
And Uno able to move out without any trouble.
I look for Uno to back out of this, I think. He's going to throw some kicks, maybe punish the legs, and he's probably going to try to get Franca to stand back up.
Well, Franca certainly wants it on the ground, and as you mentioned, it looks like Carl Uno's happy to stay on the feet. Carl Uno with a strike and a kick.
Those are brutal leg kicks.
Closing down and delivers a good left to Hermes Franca.
When a guy's got a hold of your legs like that and your legs are bent back, those are some of the most painful leg kicks because you can't brace yourself. You can't like try to stop it with your muscles. You can't tense up. He's just taking that shin right into the meat of his leg.
And pinpoint accuracy, you know he's hitting the identical spot every time he fires away.
All right, Franca's got a hold of him now.
Franca, despite that punishment, Joe, never seemed to want to get up, did he?
Franca's a tough dude, no doubt. Good knee by Uno.
Uno staying busy, showing a variety of strikes. Remember, he beat Fabiano Iha at UFC 32 with strikes in the guard. That was back at the Meadowlands a couple of years ago. So Uno has won in so many different ways. That's what's most impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Uno's a very well-rounded martial artist. He's very good at everything. Good takedown.
Half guard. Hermes Franca, obviously with his jiu-jitsu background. A man who 3 years ago spoke no English. Is very comfortable working the ground game. But Uno continues to throw down.
Those leg kicks. He holds onto that leg. Those are going to punish him. If this goes the full 3 rounds, Franca's going to feel those later, that's for sure.
And another one. Same spot, and then Uno trying to follow up.
Good ground and pound, too. He's hitting him with some good shots.
Off the fence.
Anything Franca can do to defend those kicks?
Well, right now what he's got to do, he's got to figure out a way to clinch and to pull Uno into it. He's leaving too much space. If he's got his legs up like that, he's either got to stand up or he's got to grab a hold of Uno and pull him tight to him to keep this punishment from continuing.
Hook and shoot world champion, world extreme fighting world champion, Hermes Franca, 7-0 in mixed martial arts. He will stand and trade punches, although we haven't seen him do that with Uno here in the first round.
Franca looks a little bewildered. Uno is really punishing him right now. He's in complete control here. And he looks very calm.
Carl Uno been doing some professional wrestling matches in Japan since his fight with BJ Penn at UFC 41 in Atlantic City. That was a draw. The finals of the lightweight tournament.
Uno's going to win this fight if Hermes Franca continues this way. He can't let Uno kick his legs and take pot shots at him like that. He's got to go for a submission here. He's got to grab a hold of him and drag him down. He's got to lock onto him and subdue him. Right now, he's giving Uno much too much room.
In the UFC, Uno defeated Dean Thomas, Eve Edwards, Fabiano Iha. As I mentioned, some of the best in the world. And he's taking it to Hermes Franca here in round 1. 30 seconds about to remain here in our first of 3 5-minute rounds. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, the championship fights are 5 5-minute rounds. Franca trying to close the guard a little bit, Joe.
Yeah, this is a pretty clear win this round for Uno, though. Uno is really just pounding on him. Franca's not doing anything. He's just trying to turtle up. That's a bad round for Hermes Franca.
And a good round for Carl Uno. He had his way in the first round, that is for certain.
Here's a takedown. Hermes Franca took him down. Side control. But unfortunately, he couldn't capitalize on this position. And here's these brutal leg kicks that Uno's been landing.
So Carl Uno impressive in the first 5 minutes. This lightweight division, the one thing we've talked about before, the quickness and the athleticism of these 155-pound fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are just dynamos. And it's much like the 205-pound division that we talked about, this is a very talent-rich pool. 155 pounds, there's so many great fighters. There's Eve Edwards, Matt Serra, Uno, Hermes Franca. There's so many guys. Jens Pulver's out there, Dwayne Ludwig, Genki Sudo. Very talent-rich division.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
All right, Hermes Franca's got to do something here to stop Carl Uno from taking him to the ground and just pounding on him.
This fight, the first of a wonderful night of fights here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Scheduled first so we could go live to to Japan with Carl Uno's UFC appearance. And the great mixed martial arts fans across the nation.
Oh, nice head kick.
Big kick by Franca. And the Japanese audience watching live.
Franca's obviously been told by his corner he's got to be more aggressive this round.
Now that'll score some points.
What is this?
Franca trying to apply some pressure. This is role reversal right here.
Absolutely, look, he's got his back. Franca's got his back. Okay, let it go.
Again, Uno's so patient. When you think he might be in a bad spot, he's just so darn patient.
And he's got double underhooks here. He's going to land some knees.
Uno seems to evolve every time we see him.
He evolves. You know, he felt very badly. He lost very quickly to BJ Penn. He was knocked out in about 10 seconds. Just caught a big right hand, then BJ just blitzkrieged on him. And it felt very badly about that. Came back with a tremendous performance and improves every time he's out. A lot of experience. That's the thing you have to fight. You're not just fighting Kyle Uno. You're fighting the calmness, the experience. This guy's been to war so many times, both here in the UFC and in Japan. Again, tries to throw a knee there.
Don't forget to log on at UFC.tv. We've got some great programming in the month of October, so log on for the latest and the greatest, the networks and the times. Your website of choice is UFC.tv.
Uno's got some strange ankle wraps.
Oh my, on the head. Wow, what a takedown.
Armis Franca's in the mount.
And now he's trying to take advantage of a potentially stunned Carl Uno. Side control and pummeling on Uno. Now Uno in a half guard. Franca is pleased to work from here. He's in the guard, but still trying to rain down haymakers. Yeah,
Uno looks a little rocked here, and this is Franca's world. Franca wants to pass his half guard right now. It's a little loose. He's just trying to throw some punches. This is Franca's world, though. Oh, he's got his back.
Well, as dominant as Uno was in round one, Franca has been equally, if not more so, here in round two.
Uno is rocked.
Trying to finish off Carl Uno. Combination. And Uno steps away. Down goes Uno.
Beautiful right hand.
Down goes Uno.
Wow.
Armis Franca has won by knockout.
Wow.
Franca has finished Carl Uno.
Wow.
For the official decision, let's go into the octagon. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes, 46 seconds of the second round. For the winner by knockout, Armis Franca.
Call it the trilogy. Meeting number one, Jeremy Jackson knocked out Nick Diaz in the first round. Meeting number two, Diaz KO Jackson. Tonight, winner takes all. Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. Found at nitro.tv. These are two very, very young but experienced competitors. Two that want to make a statement here in the welterweight division. And Steve Mazzagatti will be our UFC referee.
You ready? You ready?
Diaz, Jackson, and the welterweights are set.
Third fight in the series. Again, Jackson's going to look to keep this fight in his feet, and Diaz definitely wants to go to the ground. See him just avoiding the strikes, circling, looking for the opening to take Jeremy Jackson to the ground where it's his world. There he goes.
Diaz in the solid red trunks, Jackson in the red and black trunks.
Oh, good left hand by Jeremy Jackson. Nick Diaz looked a little rocked there.
Both fights, as we mentioned, have ended very quickly. And of course, Diaz wants the takedown. Jackson, as Joe pointed out, wants to keep this fight on the feet and was not able to do it here early.
Jeremy Jackson is not going to be able to get up from this. This is going to be very hard. Nick Diaz, this is his world right here. There's a huge difference between the skill levels of these guys on the ground.
How much in a matter of months could his skill improve as he gets up quickly?
Very nice.
Trying for another takedown, and he has it.
Again, this is Jeremy Jackson's worst nightmare. He does not want to be on his back with Nick Diaz on top of him. Last time they fought, Nick Diaz mounted him and pounded on him, and Jeremy couldn't do anything. He couldn't dismount him, and Nick said in an interview, he said, once I mounted him, I knew he didn't know what to do. He had no idea. He's going to do it again. He's passing his guard. You look as his left leg comes up, he's going to stick it on top of Jeremy Jackson's right leg and push it down and pass his guard. He's going to stick his right leg out of there, and he's going to mount him. So he's doing that shoulder knock right there. where he slams his face with his shoulder. That's mostly just to distract him so he can pass his guard. That's what he's concerned with right now.
Little jiu-jitsu 101, half guard closed and now opened, and that's exactly right. He does not want Nick Diaz to get side control.
There's a huge difference between these guys skill level-wise on the ground, just as there is a huge difference between them skill-wise standing up. Very interesting contrast in styles. Okay, he's got knee in the stomach. Uh-oh,
and up is Jackson again.
He made a mistake there, though. He tried to do knee on the stomach and punch him instead of just mounting him. And Jeremy got up. This is Jeremy's world. If he can avoid the takedown again.
Bound and determined for the takedown is Diaz. And I know you're thinking, Joe, Jackson's got to punish him a little bit when he's got that leg. But he's so worried about the takedown occurring, he doesn't want to give up any potential defense.
Yeah, that's the most important thing to him, is to avoid the takedown. And throwing shots from there, he's got no leverage. It's really hard for him to make any impact. Jeremy Jackson, he's just going to hang on in his guard.
Now remember, Diaz has to stay active, and so far he has, or the fighters will be stood up.
Good job by Jeremy Jackson so far of avoiding Nick Diaz, avoiding the submission. Looks like he's going for one of his own, lift his legs up.
I've got to imagine his camp has worked on ground defense. No defense to those rights and a left, and he throws them right back on his backside.
His camp is working on ground defense, but there's a big difference in the skill level of his training partners as well. I mean, Nick Diaz is working out with Cesar Gracie and Gil Castillo, and guys who are just phenomenal jiu-jitsu guys. Whereas I don't think Jeremy Jackson's camp, I don't think they're quite that on that level.
Good boxing and wrestling. Considers his style boxing. And so this is not, as you said, where he wants to be, with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining in round number 1. Welterweight matchup.
Uh-oh, Diaz is out. He's posturing up. He's out of the guard. Now he's going to look to throw those legs aside. Oh, nice kick from Jeremy Jackson from the bottom.
And those are legal. From the bottom, it's okay.
He's going to push his legs to the side and then try to mount him. There he goes. He's got side control. Bad position for Jeremy Jackson. Okay, Jeremy Jackson's got half guard again.
He's got him up against the fence as well, which loses a bit of your leverage if you're trying to avoid the takedown or the passing of the guard. You have about half the space to move, and the other space is closed off by the gates. A couple of lefts connect, and a big right. That nice high kick again.
Nice kick from the bottom by Jeremy Jackson.
I'll tell you, if he catches him with one of those, it might be good night.
Jerry Bolander got knocked out by Murilo Bustamante like that in Brazil. You got to be careful of that. It's also the way Renzo Gracie knocked out Oleg Tektarov. Oh, he made it. Oh, he's rocked.
He's rocked. Oh, he played a little possum. Nice work by Jeremy Jackson.
Oh, those are hard shots.
Wow.
Jeremy Jackson's a very good striker. Even from that position, he can hurt Nick Diaz.
That was great possum there.
Yeah, very good
And
possum.
Diaz did let down for a moment.
Yes, he did. It worked. That was real.
Good gamesmanship by Jeremy Jackson.
And excellent takedown defense, too. Oh, there he goes. He pulls guard. Good work by Nick Diaz.
Good survival in the first round by Jeremy Jackson.
Jeremy Jackson's a tough dude, no doubt about it.
And the horn sounds, and we have completed 5 minutes, the first of 3 scheduled rounds.
Let's take a look at some replays. He's taking some right hands here.
Now watch
There's
this.
the faking it.
Nice! Oh, and Diaz just maneuvered out of the way at the last moment.
There's a takedown by Nick Diaz. Here's a nasty elbow by Nick Diaz.
Ouch! Right on the bridge of the nose.
Do what you know what you can do. Okay? Relax. Give him a little more water. A little more water. Okay? Take
Clear the
control
ring.
of it.
Clear the
Your
ring.
sprawl is off the hook right now. Back to the sprawl, Jeremy.
Sprawling.
Okay. Go back to the corner, please.
And there is Nick Diaz coming out of his corner, ready to go here in the second round. Well, we know one thing, for the first time in this trilogy, the fight has gone further than the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these guys know each other's
ready?
game very well now.
You ready? Bring it on.
Something about personal vendettas and bragging rights, too.
They
Make
touch
it
gloves.
so interesting.
Show of respect. Touch gloves at the start of the second round.
How does Jackson avoid the takedown, get into his his forte, and that is using the fist. There's the sprawl. He's got a leg, though. There, Jackson punishing Diaz in his attempt for a takedown.
Nick Diaz is very creative with this, though. He spun around away from it. He's holding onto that leg. Very good takedown. He's just a spider. He gets a hold of you. He's not going to let you out of his web.
Good right, and a left that connects. Diaz trying to rain down with the rights.
Throwing shots to the body there.
And a good
nice
shot
one.
to the midsection.
Oh. You know what? You're stuck pinned against that floor. Those hurt, man. Your body absorbs all that blow. That's one of Dwayne Ludwig's favorite techniques. Oh, nice
good
shot.
elbow and another. Good ground and pound by this Gracie Jiu-Jitsu expert, Nick Diaz.
Yeah, again, this is Nick Diaz's world. Jeremy Jackson's just going to survive here.
And he's got a long build. I mean, 6 foot, 170 pounds, but look at the long arms of Diaz. Really gives him room to maneuver down on Jeremy Jackson, who's nearly as tall, though.
He's got to be careful here, not let Jeremy back up, though. All right, now he's going to pass the guard. See, his left leg comes up again. He tries to get a hold of the thigh, and he pushes that thigh down, and he's going to try to slide his right leg out and mount. There he goes.
And he did it.
He's in side control. He's not quite mounted yet, and Nick Diaz, Jeremy Jackson still has his leg inside on Nick Diaz. Oh, the scramble. Uh-oh, uh-oh. He's got his back. Nick Diaz got his back. See, this is the difference in skill level. Nick Diaz is much better on the ground than Jeremy Jackson.
Looking to finish it by submission. 2 minutes into the second round.
He's going to hold on right here, and he's going to try to roll him over, and while in the process of rolling him, get his right leg in. He wants to get his right hook in. His right leg in between Jeremy Jackson's leg and his arm. That little space there, that's the hook. He wants to stick it in there so he can control him and then choke him.
The leverage is so important on the choke, and Jackson able to avoid it.
We lost him in the roll, though. Let's see Nick Diaz's guard here.
The key was not getting the legs in, Joe, and not being able to leverage out, right?
Yes, absolutely. And he's got to be very careful here. If Jeremy Jackson's punches are very strong, he can really rock him here, a la Cal Uno and Fabiano Iha. Fabiano Iha was knocked out from the guard. You know, it's a defensive position, but you know this guy can still punch. If you get caught down there, you can still get knocked out.
Jackson in the guard, of course. Diaz, jiu-jitsu background, just 20 years old, very comfortable on his back. These two have grown to have a mutual respect for each other.
Nice
Jackson
shot.
at first thought Diaz was cocky.
This is it. That's what I'm talking
He's
about.
teeing off.
Jeremy Jackson can bang. This dude's got some power in his punches.
Trying to win this important round, too.
This is very dangerous right here for Nick Diaz. He's got to hold on to Jeremy Jackson's upper body. Either hold on to his head or hold on with double underhooks. He's got to hold on to him and keep him from raining down those shots. Just one of them can change the course of this fight.
Diaz a bit of a cut on the bridge of his nose.
It looks like Diaz is going for an omoplata here, which is a shoulder lock.
Diaz is bloodied up a bit.
He's going to roll this. This is it, the omoplata right here. If he can get his left leg beside Jeremy's head, he can roll over and get that shoulder lock. You let it go.
A couple of submission attempts here in round 2 have failed. Credit Jackson for that.
Oh, absolutely. Jackson's a tough dude. He's here to win. I mean, this is for bragging rights. These guys are 1-1 against each other. There's been a lot of trash talk.
And this is on a much larger stage. This is on the UFC stage. And the winner will advance in the minds of the UFC promoters and matchmakers and have a chance to be a factor in this welterweight division. Not that the loser won't, but the winner will escalate his status much more quickly.
Absolutely. This is the big show. You know, 1-1 in the other shows, that means something, but whoever wins this in the UFC, that means everything.
Debut for both here in the world-famous Octagon. Just about 20 seconds remains in round number 2.
Nick Diaz is doing a good job here of holding Jeremy Jackson down. He learned from those punches. He does not want to take a beating like that. It looks like he's rolling for a Kimura. See how he's getting it? Oh, slipped out. See, this is a dangerous spot.
I'll tell you, you could very easily give round 1 to Diaz and round 2 to Jeremy Jackson.
Time.
And they will go to round 3.
Diaz got a little blood.
All right? Look at his face. He's fucked up. That's good. Stay focused. Okay, Jeremy, just keep your stance. Now you're going to make it on the feet. Okay? You're going to work your jabs. You're going to let your hands flow. Okay, it's time to let your hands flow.
All right, let's take a look at it. This is where Nick Diaz had Jeremy Jackson's back, and when he rolled him, Jeremy rolled back over and got into his guard. Nick Diaz wanted to stay on top and get the back, get the hooks in, and possibly try for a choke. Here's Jeremy Jackson with those big shots. That's the difference between having a striker on top of you. That guy's a dangerous puncher.
That first shot we saw, Joe, may have been the one that cut him. Because that first one connected big time.
Let's go, clear the ring, Blue.
This is it. This is third and final round.
Very interesting matchup between two totally different styles. One guy very good on his feet and one guy very good on the ground.
Diaz is anxious. He was already in the center of the octagon. There's Jackson.
You ready? Bring it on.
Diaz with the dark hair, solid red trunks. Jackson the blonde hair, red and black trunks.
Touch gloves again.
Just trying to cut off a few seconds of a possible takedown, probably. Touch my hands and don't take me down.
Jeremy's looking to swing here.
Can he swing and avoid the takedown? You know that Diaz is trying to size it up.
Oh.
Sure enough, he did. Ducked under the punch and got the takedown, and he's in the guard.
Nice takedown by Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz has got to work out of this guard, though, if he wants to do any real damage or submit Jeremy Jackson.
That's where the ground specialists are so good with their timing, Joe.
Oh, Jeremy Jackson got back up.
Jackson's gotten up a couple of times. A bit surprising to you.
Yes, Nick Diaz should not be letting him do that. It should be his main concern. Should not be trying to punch. It should be. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist. He should be trying to hold Jeremy Jackson down and control him and possibly submit him, or at the very least, mount him so he could really land effective blows and Jeremy can't defend himself.
Remember, aggression is one of the judges' criteria. If we do get this fight to render a decision.
See, while he's in the guard, Jeremy can kick his legs, can throw his legs up. There's a lot of action going on. If Nick Diaz can mount him and start pounding him, you cut off that whole bottom part of his body. It's completely ineffective, and all he can do is try to hold on with his arms.
Keep busy.
Here, Nick Diaz has head and arm control. He's in side position. He's going to get that knee to his stomach and try to slide over into the mount.
The former lifeguard, Jeremy Jackson.
Uh-oh, he's got a guillotine. He's got a guillotine. He's going to try to get a guard here. If he gets in the guard, nope, popped out.
And again, Jackson able to avoid a submission attempt.
Nick Diaz took a chance right there, and in taking that chance, he gave up that position, and now Jeremy Jackson's on top of him. He's going to throw some bombs.
Jackson fell in love after his brother rented UFC 4 back in 1997.
Uh-oh, armbar. He's got it, he got it.
It's all over.
Nice.
It's all over just like that.
Just
Nick
like that.
Diaz by submission. An armbar victory over Jeremy Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the third round. A winner by tap out due to an armbar. For the winner, Nick Diaz.
So the 20-year-old wins his 8th mixed martial arts contest and his first appearance in the octagon. You like jiu-jitsu, you like activity, you'll love newcomer Gerald Streben. Speaking of speed, pace, and aggressiveness, his opponent, the punk Josh Thompson. Our Tale of the Tape all night brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. 25-year-old Josh the Punk Thompson against Gerald the Finishing Machine Streben.
All right, here we go, here we go. Are you
The
ready?
Punk and the
Are you
Finishing
ready?
Machine.
Let's get it on, come on.
And here we go.
Again, Josh Thompson's got the superior stand-up skills, and Gerald's going to look to take this to the ground.
Oh,
Whoa.
my.
Nice takedown.
Quick pace to start things here, spinning and working. Relentless is Josh Thompson.
Gerald's got a hold of a leg. Gerald Streben's got excellent leg submissions if he doesn't get bombed on from here. That's the thing about going for legs. You leave yourself open to shots. We saw that with Ian Freeman and Frank Mir. He's got it here.
Can he spin it? He spins with it, does Josh Thompson. And into the closed guard.
Gerald Streben's got sick ground jiu-jitsu. His no-gi jiu-jitsu, it's all geared for mixed martial arts. This is all stuff that Eddie Bravo's invented.
We've talked about Arturo Gatti-like aggressiveness.
He's looking for the omoplata.
in Matt Serra. We see that with Gerald Strebent, too. Very active.
He's looking for the omoplata here. Oh, Josh got out of it. And he falls right back into Gerald's guard. He's not afraid of Gerald's guard. This could be a big mistake for Josh Thompson.
As advertised, Strebent will rapid fire his submission attempts. One after another after another.
He's got to clear his right leg. That's what he's got to do right now. He's got to clear his right leg. Oh, he's got the go-go plata. He's got a go-go plata in. Good punches by Josh Thompson. Josh avoids it, and Gerald goes to the leg.
Let go of it. Let go of it.
That's the Punk. You see him smirk at him like, you're not going to tap me with that. Uh-oh, he's got his back.
Basically, the Punk says he'll slip in a little something that would make him a punk when he's practicing, training, working out, whatever it is. You don't get nicknamed the Punk for nothing. We know that.
Watch your knee, watch your
Josh
knee,
done an excellent job of avoiding all these submissions. Josh is on top here.
As our fans know, Joe, the submission can happen as quick as the knockout.
Absolutely.
Split-second efficiency. A right hand. Just a little rabbit punch. As Strebent tries to work his ground game.
Strebent keeps going for those legs.
Oh, he connected with that. He connected big time. And now he's trying to finish. Connects with Strebent. And now Thompson's trying to finish.
Strebent's got to be very careful here. He's rocked, and he's got his back turned to him. Josh
Thompson
can finish
trying
him
to
here.
Finish the fight.
Strebent's curled him up. He's got to be careful that Big John McCarthy doesn't stop this.
He caught him
These
with
unanswered
that punch.
blows.
And it is all over. It is all over. Josh Thompson has defeated Gerald Strebent.
He could not recover from that one big shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes, 45 seconds of the first round. For the winner by TKO, the Punk, Josh Thompson.
Carl Parisian may be only 21 years old, but he has 19 fights to his credit. His opponent, 13 years his elder, the well-rounded welterweight Dave Strasser. Our tale of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. Look at the difference. 34 years in age between Strasser and the youngster, 21 years old, but very fight experienced, Carl Parisian. And Steve Mazzagatti will be our UFC referee. And here we go. Welterweights here tonight at the Mandalay Bay Event Center.
Very interesting matchup here.
Solid black trunks for Parisian.
Carl's a wild man.
And he loves those throws. He is judo through and through, as you talked about.
You know, absolutely. He is a well-rounded martial artist, though. Not just judo. The guy's got really good striking as well, and he's very aggressive.
He's adapted his judo without the gi, too, and that's a key here in the octagon, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was talking about
Watch
before.
your groin.
These guys,
Watch your groin
a lot of these guys that start off with the gi, they use the gi, and they have these gi techniques that don't apply. But Caro and a lot of the guys coming up now, they know how to do all the techniques. I mean, you started Rich Crunkleton in UFC 42 as well. They know how to apply those techniques without the gi now.
In preparing for this fight, Strasser watched a lot of tapes of Carl Parisian, and he actually said by watching those tapes, he learned some things. And maybe he'll try to use some of that against his opponent here tonight. So a great compliment given to Carl Parisian.
Yeah, Carl is an excellent judo
good
man.
knee.
Dave Strasser is not easily rattled. You saw that with Romy Arum,
Yeah.
cracked him. Oh, nice
There's a
takedown.
throw.
That's the judo right there. Beautiful takedown by Caro. Carl's in Dave's half guard.
When done correctly and efficiently, it certainly is a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, judo's beautiful, man. When you watch those throws, if you see a guy who's really excellent at it like Caro, it just seems effortless. All leverage and technique. Dave's looking to get full guard here. Good right hand.
Strasser moved to Iowa back in '95, did work out and train with Pat Miletich for a few years before moving to Wisconsin upon getting married in '97. And now, as I mentioned, he has his own school called the Freestyle Academy.
Strasser's got full guard here. Good right hand by Caro. Another nice right hand by Caro.
Parisian, the movie stuntman. Nothing staged tonight here, though, in the octagon. That's for certain.
A lot of those guys train under Gene LaBelle. Gene LaBelle is known for being a stuntman. He's been beaten up in more movies than you can possibly imagine.
Does he ever win?
In real life, he sure does.
There you go.
Talk
Good
to
point.
Steven Seagal about it.
There you go.
Legendary story of him choking out Steven Seagal. Uh-oh. Kyle's got a leg. This guy supposedly has vicious leg locks. This might be very dangerous for Dave Strasser here. Dave's out of it. And Dave's up.
Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Look for Carroll to try a throw here again. Knees. Nice knee.
Good combination to follow.
Let go of the gloves. Don't hold the gloves.
And Strasser comes at him.
Dave Strasser just not easily rattled. You don't take that guy out of his game.
Left jab and a big right that misses.
Good head kick, but not a whole lot on it. We saw that against Romy Aram too. He like, oh, nice. Dave Strasser, he sort of like pecks at you. He doesn't just throw vicious, evil bombs. He just kind of pecks at you. But he keeps coming. Carroll rolls into the knee bar.
The only fights Dave talks about are the ones that he lost, because he said those are the ones I learned from. Let's find my weaknesses and improve on them. We talk about 23 wins. That's an absolutely spectacular mixed martial arts record.
Carroll's got his arm tied up, looking for the takedown. There he goes.
Trying
Very
to work
nice.
that arm again.
Oh,
Does he have it? It's over.
Tap.
And it's
Beautiful.
all over. Submission victory for Carl Parisian.
Beautiful.
All right, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 3 minutes, 52 seconds in the very first round. For the winner by tap out due to a Kimura, Carl the Heat Parisian.
We're going to see a lot from this guy. 21 years old, just a kid.
The depth in the light heavyweight division astounding. We get to see Rich Franklin take on Edwin DeWeese. Hail of the tape throughout the evening brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. 7 years older is Franklin. He does have 6 pounds on the babyface, Edwin DeWeese. They are both 6'1". Sean Brockmole will be our referee to get things started. DeWeese.
You ready? You ready?
And
Let's
Franklin.
fight.
And here we go.
Now, there is a rumor going around that Rich Franklin has a torn groin muscle and he wants to avoid going to the ground. Nice knee by Franklin in the tie-up. Oh, he's down.
Out of the ground it'll go, courtesy of DeWeese. Half guard, DeWeese in the camouflage shorts with the blonde hair. Franklin and the black and white trim. One thing about Franklin, he always feels his team devises a very good game plan, and he's very confident in being patient. DeWeese really wants to push the action, Joe.
Yeah, Franklin's got his knee through. Well, he lost it there. He had his knee through. He's going for full guard.
Babyface
Standing
with
up.
27 mixed
Oh, he's got a
martial arts
guillotine.
wins, trying to finish it early.
DeWeese got the guillotine in. If he gets, oh, he's out. Franklin's going to look to back out. Bring it back to his feet.
Now remember, we said 75% of DeWeese wins have been by first-round submission. He was looking for a submission there. DeWeese seems confident.
He looks very composed for a young kid. He loves being the underdog. He said this is a good place for him. He likes coming out and just proving that everybody's wrong.
Well, proximity to home is pretty darn good too. Phoenix, Arizona. Lots of family and friends here to support him tonight in his UFC debut. Big opportunity for this young man.
He was actually smiling when the referee was reading the announcements.
Well, it's a dream come true, isn't it? To be in the UFC stage. For Franklin, you have to go back to Extreme Challenge 41 to find a fight that has gone past the first round. So both are accustomed to finishing things quickly. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled for all matchups except our 2 championship matchups, which, as we mentioned, are 5 5-minute rounds.
Nice uppercut by Franklin inside.
Good knee, low and then high.
If the rumors are true and Rich Franklin does have a torn groin muscle, I hope he didn't take this fight lightly.
In this day and age, With the caliber of mixed martial artists that make their way to the UFC, I don't think it's wise to take any fight lightly anymore, is it?
Absolutely, especially when someone gets to the big show. When they get to the, oh, big right hand. Deweese is hurt.
Deweese is hurt.
He's down.
Franklin trying to finish it quickly. That one stunned Deweese. The big right.
Deweese is all right.
Franklin happy to bring it to the
Back
feet.
up. Wow, look at him. Comes right to him. Whoa. Deweese is a gamer. That kid's tough. Look at him. He wants to give it back. Oh, nice knee by Franklin.
Franklin again tees up. And that time he had the hands on the back of the neck for a little extra leverage.
Oh, he's rocked.
And down
Rocked
goes
with the
Deweese. Down. Franklin jumps and tries to finish quickly.
Deweese is hanging in there. Franklin's landing some shots.
He's been stunned twice here in the first round.
Look at Deweese like the Terminator. Back up.
Down it goes again.
Oh,
And a kick to the
body,
midsection.
which is allowed. Kick to the head when you're down is not. Rich Franklin throwing some bombs. Nice knee to the body.
Deweese seems overmatched here. And if Franklin does have any type of injury, you know he wants to finish it as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. But you know what? The adrenaline masks a lot of the pain anyway. Nice
got it
knees to the
going
body.
now.
Deweese is stuck there. He's got to
And
get
it's
out.
all over.
Oh,
The referee has stopped the fight. Edwin Deweese overwhelmed by Rich Franklin,
That's
who
a
many
dangerous
believe is
man.
the next big thing in the light heavyweight division.
If they didn't believe it then, they're going to believe it now. That's a very, very competitive fighter right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 3 minutes 35 seconds of the very first round. By the winner, by TKO, Rich Franklin!
The Crow David Loiseau, well decorated in his home nation, a multiple mixed martial arts champion in Canada, a middleweight matchup against Jorge Rivera now. We should note that 23-year-old David Loiseau, when he originally weighed in yesterday, was 4 pounds over. He has made the required weight of 185 or below. He is much younger than his opponent, Jorge Rivera, the Canadian against the American, in a battle of middleweight competitors. Larry Landless, our referee. The debut for Rivera, the second matchup for Loiseau. And we are set.
You ready?
Rivera,
Rock and roll.
Loiseau, ready to rock and roll.
Let's see, here it goes. Loiseau didn't like standing with Weir, and he took him to the ground. Let's see if he likes it with Rivera.
Well, both do like the stand-up, although, as you pointed out, he didn't like it the last time.
Well, he's a very smart fighter. If he doesn't think he's getting the best of it, he can move on all levels. He can take a guy down, or he can stand up with him.
Be fun to see him go toe-to-toe, and that is a big possibility. Rivera comes quickly.
See, there you see it. He's like we said before, he's a true mixed martial artist, and he's a smart fighter.
Loiseau, a huge fan of Roy Jones Jr. Likes to emulate his striking, but obviously he's got the well-versed game of a mixed martial artist.
Nice knee inside by Loiseau. And again, oh, right to the cup.
Middleweights 185 and below. Good shot to the solar plex.
Yeah, Rivera's an excellent puncher. Let's see who gets the best of this. Oh, just missed with a big right hand by Loiseau.
As an amateur, Rivera actually beat Tim Sylvia in a mixed martial arts competition. That was as an amateur. Now he's trying to add on to his 6 pro fights and his 6-1 MMA record.
How did those guys ever wind up fighting?
That's an excellent question.
That's like UFC 1.
Whoever comes in, let's lock the gate and go. Oh, how this sport has evolved since that point.
Yeah, because he's not even that big at 185, and Tim Sylvia is a huge 265-pound guy.
And he was probably more than that then.
Don't grab the shorts. Don't grab
You'll
them.
see Tim Sylvia later tonight defending his UFC heavyweight title against Gan McGee.
Let's go, guys.
First defense for Tim Sylvia. Highlighted matchup, light heavyweight. Title fight between Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture. Still great fights ahead.
Loiseau keeps trying to get double underhooks. Rivera wisely avoids it. Oh, nice inside tie clinch. And nice right hand, too. Good dirty boxing by Loiseau.
And Rivera fights right back. We could see the slugfest that we want. The Crow Loiseau.
You can tell right off the bat that Rivera's a seasoned striker.
Former construction worker, laborers local 609, Framingham, Massachusetts. Man's worked hard his entire life. And Rivera normally competed at 205, so he's come down for this fight as well. Loazo had to come down to make weight, basically.
Nice right hand by Loazo inside, a nice elbow also.
That's that clinch. That's that Randy Couture dirty boxing.
Absolutely.
Matt Lindland.
Jens Pulver's a big fan of that as well. Loazo got rocked there with that a little bit. Oh, he
And now he's
smiled.
got a smile on his face.
Try to throw him off, which almost always means he got hurt. If someone's bleeding, there's a little bit of blood on Rivera's back.
Might be on the back of the head of Jorge Rivera. Yep, it is. It's on the head of Jorge Rivera, and Larry Landless is going to have Leon Tabbs take a look at that cut.
That's a weird place for a cut.
It sure is. And obviously anything in the head area, especially with the blood pumping, is going to gush a little bit.
Oh, wow, look at it.
Yep. It's a gash on the left side. There it is.
Whoa. That is a weird cut. Probably from one of those inside elbows. Loazo landed a couple really good inside elbows.
Switch corners.
And that's the effect of it right there.
They're going to switch corners. The doctors have said everything's fine and keep her going on. Clock stops here in round one.
Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
That cut's still bleeding.
Yep, and it's going to from that area.
Absolutely. The forehead is one of the worst places. Anywhere in the top of your head, bleed a lot.
How about that gash Marvin Eastman took? Oh,
that was the worst I've ever seen.
No question. Rivera, though, no hesitation.
Loazo again with those, he ties them up. Throws those inside right hands and elbows.
Ducks under and then gets the underhooks and then tries to dirty box a bit.
Nice body shots inside by Rivera. This is a very unusual fight. These guys are basically operating from the clinch and just blasting each other. You don't really see that too much in the UFC. Knees and elbows and punches, all from the clinch.
Loazo stated before this matchup, last time he felt he fought good. Thought he was very, very good against Mark Weir. This time he expects to fight great.
Come on, you're
a lot of credit to Jorge Rivera and his striking ability. Jorge, the current US MMA and hook and shoot light heavyweight champion. Worked his way through the ranks.
Elbow. He's just got a nasty right elbow inside. Very effective. Obviously from the cut, you can tell it's doing some damage.
Get a good look at it from that camera angle. Under a minute remains in round one. This fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
I like how he does that. He gets inside, he palms the back of Rivera's head, and then slides over with an elbow.
As decorated a champion as there is in Canada, the UCC now called TKO. Loazo with a win over Tony Fricklin out of the Militich camp in his mixed martial arts career.
By the same way, as a matter of fact, by elbows that cause a nasty cut. You've seen the pictures on the internet. Fricklin was bleeding like he was in a horror movie.
10 seconds.
10 seconds remains in round number one.
Goes on the leg.
Loazo's got double underhooks. Looks like he's trying to take Rivera down as the bell rings.
Good first round. That one's going to be tough to call. Both through. Both connected. Both did some damage.
Absolutely. I give an edge to Loazo, though. I think he did a little more damage and, again, very effective with that clinch and those elbows inside. Let's take a look at those in the replay. Boom. There's another one. See that elbow? Oh, down. Very nice. Notice how he points his hand down, so the point of the elbow is what's making contact. And that's what's going to cut you.
You kill her. Take your time to do what you're doing. Just be careful on the brakes. Are these affecting you at all at the body? Perfect.
Let's plug them up, man.
You see the cut man applying some ointment to those cuts, trying to stop the bleeding.
Smaller one on the top, but we saw the one on the side of the head.
And that's both on the same side where Loazo's been landing those effective elbows.
Very confident corner of David Loazo. You heard with the French accent. His cornerman talking about that he's controlled the matchup so far, and he has.
You ready? You ready? Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Set for the second round. What a great show of respect in this sport. You get inside the octagon and you got guts, plain and simple.
Yeah, Rivera's got to avoid the clinch. He's got to avoid the clinch and try to box and kick on the outside. There he goes. Nice leg kick.
Seemed like every time he went for the right, Loazo ducked under it, Joe, and then he was able to get that clinch and work the dirty boxing.
Well, you know what? They fought the first round in the clinch, and now, whoa, nice right hand by Loazo. Right as I was going to say, they were probably going to fight the second one from the outside. They clinch up again. Nice knees to the legs.
Both are trying to do the same thing. No sign of the ground game here, is there?
No, these guys want to stand. Punishing each other's legs inside like that.
Don't forget your website of choice, UFC.tv. Great UFC programming in October. Log on for the latest and the greatest networks and times. A bunch of new DVDs are out and available with exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at the fighters and the fights at UFC.tv. Check it out now.
Loazo just landed another one of those elbows and stepped outside.
.335 remains in round number 2.
Another elbow. You see, he throws it like a punch. He wings that thing in. Very common there. You see Loazo sees everything.
Yep.
Jorge's throwing all those shots. Loazo just covering up and moving away from him. Very composed champion.
Now, this is certainly a huge opportunity for Loazo to continue to show his skills south of his border.
Absolutely, like you said before, TKO, formerly the UCC champion, wants to become the UFC middleweight champion.
Now, the definition of a fight is a conflict of two wills. And these guys are willing it out right now.
Another elbow.
A construction worker trying to build himself a little mixed martial arts career.
Jorge's got to do something to stop that right elbow of David Loazo's, or he's going to get cut open even worse. That's Loazo's famous for it. He throws it with speed like a punch. A lot of guys don't do that. They throw it, they're not that comfortable with the elbow, and it's more of like a plodding, pushing motion. You see him, it whips. It whips, and his hand is pointed down, so the point of his elbow is what makes contact. And a lot of times it looks like he misses the punch, but he's missing it on purpose to actually land the elbow. Good tie clinch by Loazo.
And the key to that knee is having those hands, as you said, clinched on the back of the neck. You pull and you push at the same time, and bam.
Little
good
short
body shots. Yeah, Byron. And there's that elbow again, exactly what you spoke of, Joe.
Rivera can take it, though. He just bounces off his head.
Good forward motion by Jorge Rivera that time.
Loazo's blocking all those shots, though. Jorge's throwing a lot of shots, but Loazo's not getting hurt by those.
Under 90 seconds remains in round 2. The pace is slowed a bit.
They're expending a lot of energy pushing against each other constantly like this in the clinch. It's going to be hard to keep this pace.
The elbows have landed, though, and landed consistently.
This is just constant strain and resistance when they're tying up like this. They're constantly trying to get a better position and push. This expends a lot of energy. Another elbow.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Pace is definitely slowed down here.
Well, there's control, and that is owned by David Loazo.
See, again, he throws that, whips that elbow.
Showing him no frontal. Now he's set. And they're in the middle of the ring. Rivera continues to try to come.
Nice
and
body
Loazo
shot by Rivera.
Keeping his head protected, and Rivera noticed and adjusted and got a good shot in, as you mentioned. A couple of uppercuts. And across the top of the defense. See if Rivera can make a statement to the judges here at the end of this second round.
Good knee inside by Loazo. Loazo looks a little bit tired, though. It looks like Rivera's coming on here. Right when I say that, Loazo comes on.
And we have completed 2 of the 3 scheduled rounds.
Some blood coming out of the nose of David Loazo.
Star-studded evening here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. And that man's a superstar. Fernando Vargas. Wonder what he thinks of these boys' striking skills.
He loves the UFC. He's a big fan. I actually flew back. I was sitting right in front of him the Miami fight. And we talked about the UFC for about an hour and a half. Real cool guy.
What did he think most of it?
He just loves it. Just loves it. You know, there's so many fighters that love the UFC. A lot of these boxers, they really respect these guys as martial arts. Look at this cuts. There's two nasty openings on top of Rivera's head.
Straighten him right up with it.
And you know what? If he keeps taking those elbows, he's going to get another one. I was saying before, all these boxers, they totally respect the mixed martial artists now.
Here's the shark, Jerry Tarkanian, longtime head basketball coach of the Running Rebels of UNLV. Won a national championship with Larry Johnson and the boys right down the street at the Thomas and Mack Center. He's a local hero.
It's last round. It's last round. Move back. Move back. Are you ready?
Celebrity
Are you
Jam
ready?
tonight
Let's
here
rock
at
and
the
roll.
Mandalay
Let's go.
Bay Resort and Casino. The sights are spectacular.
5 minutes, George. That's it.
4:45 remains here. Just underway in round 3. And now Rivera still pressing the action forward. He's starting to catch Loiseau.
Loiseau's backing up straight, which is a no-no in boxing. When you're backing up straight, all the guy has to do is time how far you're moving back. He's got to have some side movement there. Rivera's an excellent striker.
Loiseau hasn't attempted to take Rivera down at
those?
all.
Look at those. Good body shots by Rivera, and if Loiseau's tired, those are going to make him even more tired. Ugh.
Good fighting spirit here by Rivera. He's starting to break down Loiseau a bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Loiseau's tiring.
Now, I wonder if that's the effect of being 4 pounds over, having to cut the weight to make the weight. That will work on the body.
Absolutely. It definitely doesn't help. When you dehydrate yourself, without a doubt, you lose some stamina. And Loiseau was really big. He weighed in at 189, which is 4 pounds over the limit. So you know he was way higher than that before he started cutting. A lot of these guys are 10, 15 pounds over the weight. They cut down in order to be the biggest they could possibly be at that weight class. But that can work against you. We've seen it many times in the past. As a matter of fact, Dennis Hallman, when he fought Jens Pulver at 155 pounds, was basically couldn't do anything.
Right.
Because he had lost so much weight that he just literally had no energy. Ken Shamrock also felt when he cut down to 205 to fight Tito Ortiz that was a mistake and it drained him. It's a very tricky business. Tito Ortiz has that down to a science. You're going to see later on tonight when they were standing at the weigh-ins, Tito and Randy together. Randy Couture was the heavyweight champion, moved down to 205 pounds. Tito still is way bigger than him. Tito's an enormous 205-pound guy.
He usually fights at around 218 to 220.
He's just a scientist at cutting weight perfectly. Weighs in 205 pounds on the nugget, steps off, drinks a couple gallons of Gatorade, eats some food, and he's back to full weight.
Now we will look forward to that matchup still tonight.
Good shots by Loiseau inside.
Final round nearly halfway to completed. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remains in the fight. Loiseau and Rivera. And Loiseau does seem like, look at him shaking the arms out, Joe.
Yeah, he missed
He
that
doesn't
one
have
pretty
that
badly.
snap. He doesn't have that snap.
Like I said before, that inside type, nice shots by Rivera.
Yeah,
Rivera's
Rivera
coming
does.
on here.
He sure is. Rivera still has the snap. And he seems to have much more energy than David Loiseau.
Nice knee to the body. That's the same side of the body that's been punished by those punches. Loiseau looks hurt.
There's nothing worse than fatigue when you are inside the octagon.
That first round was a battle of attrition. Those guys pulling and pushing on each other, trying to get position in the clinch. That's a lot of energy they're expending, and it looks like Loiseau is coming out of the bottom now. Good uppercut.
And another one.
rocked.
He's
He's
connecting.
going down.
Continuing to connect. Rivera taking it to Loiseau. Jorge Rivera.
Wow, Loiseau's tough. I thought he was going down there. He's a little wobbly, though. Damn.
And Jorge Rivera sniffs it. He smells it. He knows victory could be imminent. Let's see if he comes hard again. Loiseau will wait and try to time for the counter.
I don't know if Loiseau even has enough energy to take him down at this point. Doesn't look like he wants to clinch anymore.
His nose is bleeding. Blood out of the left side of the nose of David Loiseau.
They're both taking a little breather here, siding each other up.
Loiseau ducks through it.
Nice knee inside by Rivera. He keeps punishing Loiseau's body, and that's going to make him even tireder.
Rivera threw a lot of punches there, and now he seems to have slowed.
Absolutely.
And he had him. He had him right near the brink.
He had him, but he probably was aware that he was gassing himself out, and he wanted to be able to explode. It's a calculated thing when you're in there. They have to figure out how much energy do I explode. Do I keep exploding and die myself and gas myself out and then take a chance that Loazo's going to come back and I'm not going to have enough energy to defend? So it's constantly a calculation while they're in there. Ooh, nice right hand.
Right into where he was cut in the first round early in the fight. This is going to be very, very close on the judges' scorecards.
Absolutely. I have Rivera winning this round for sure, though.
Loazo was dominant in the first. The second was extremely close. 15 seconds remains. Rivera trying to finish with a flurry. Loazo closing in. Rivera combination, and down goes David Loazo. And that in itself may very well have won Jorge Rivera the fight.
Loazo got up and he is really rocked. He's really wobbly.
Let's get the decision. The judges' cards have been handed to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Nelson Hamilton scores the bout 29-28. Judge Cecil People scores the bout 29-27. And Judge Tony Weeks scores the bout 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, El Conquistador, Jorge Rivera.
Coming up next, the heavyweight championship. First title defense right here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for the man known as the Maniac, Tim the Maniac Sylvia, against 6'10" Gan McGee. Sylvia, pinpoint punching accuracy, devastating in his win so far against a big man, in fact a bigger man in Gan McGee. Now it's time for the big one, for the heavyweight championship. Tim Sylvia, 6'8", against 6'10", Gan McGee. The two largest men ever to fight for a UFC title collide tonight for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Tim the Maniac Sylvia, stands 6'8" and weighs 260 pounds. He is undefeated at 17-0, finishing 15 of 17 opponents.
When I fought Rico Rodriguez, I was a huge underdog, and I liked that. I liked being the underdog. It was a huge drive for me, knowing that he thought he could beat me that easily. Gan's a tough guy, and some guys, when they get the belt, they kind of relax. Not me. I want to keep this belt for a long time, so I trained just as hard, if not harder, for this fight. The game plan is to keep my hands up and throw the straight punches right down the pipe and knock them out.
The challenger, Gan the Giant McGee, stands 6'10" and weighs 265. His mixed martial arts record is 12-1, and he is known for finishing most of his opponents in the first round.
After beating Pedro Hizo, I think that kind of showed it too. If I can knock that guy, and take him out with a strike standing, then I can do it to anyone. I think I definitely have the ability to strike with him. I definitely have the ability to take him down and finish him on the ground.
Up next, Tim the Maniac Sylvia versus Gan the Giant McGee for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Over 500 pounds will collide here tonight. Gan McGee, Northern Cold, Black Flood Diesel, his entrance music of choice. 26 years old, he uses his wrestling in reverse. He is a fearsome striker. He is also an outstanding wrestler.
Absolutely, Mike. He's a protege of John Hackleman, who also trains Chuck Liddell in the pit. And this guy is just like Chuck Liddell in the fact that he's a striker who's also a very good wrestler. He avoids a takedown and want to keep guys on their feet and blast them outstanding. Excellent striker and an excellent wrestler. Very, very strong guy.
And not afraid to fight against the best and strike against the best, is evidenced above the fight that he spoke of at UFC 39 against Pedro the Rock Hizo. He's loopy with his throws, but they're very lethal.
Just like Chuck Liddell, he throws those, that's how John Hackleman trains them, I guess. They throw these looping punches, but they hit you, you're going to sleep.
Gan McGee,
6'11".
oh my,
that's a lot of
huge opportunity, an absolutely huge opportunity for a huge man, the Giant, Gan McGee, trying to win the heavyweight belt. There he is, surrounded by the Miletich camp. Tim Sylvia's been working out in Utah on the high elevation with that man. To his right on your screen, Jeremy Horn, Tony Fricklin brings the belt in for big Tim Sylvia, the Maniac.
Tim Sylvia stepping in with a kill, William Wallace style. He had to lose weight to make a 265-pound weight division, ladies and gentlemen. He was weighing in quite a few pounds over yesterday, so who knows how much he weighs now? Probably well over 270. A huge man with big power in his right hand. Has he faced a guy that's taller than him, though? Very odd to find a guy taller than you when you're 6'8".
Unless you walk around the National Basketball Association.
Who's sparring with Shaq?
Sparring with Shaq or John Spider Sally, our good friend at the Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Tim Sylvia training with what I think is the best mixed martial arts team in the world is Miletich Fighting Camp, Davenport, Iowa. Those guys are serious. They do everything perfect. Everything the right way. Perfect jiu-jitsu, perfect striking, perfect wrestling. These guys know exactly what it takes to be a true mixed martial arts professional, and they are in a camp filled with killers. Everyone in that camp's a badass. They got Jeremy Horn, they got Tim Sylvia, Jens Pulver, Matt Hughes, Mark Hughes. I mean, it's just a cavalcade of animals down there. And all they do is train. These guys, they live in Iowa. There's nothing to do there. They train, they go to sleep, they eat, they train. Tim Sylvia is a product of that and always gives up props to Miletich.
And let us remember, the leader of that pack is the well-decorated former welterweight champion, Pat Miletich. And Pat Miletich's new thing is he wants Royce Gracie. That's a story to be said in the future. I'll tell you one thing right now, Tim Sylvia, same mindset as Matt Hughes. To be a champion is one thing, to defend your belt means you are a true champion. Tail of the Tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. Look at this. I mean, nearly 14 feet tall, over 520 pounds. This is truly a battle of the giants for the biggest belt of them all, the heavyweight championship. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, chairman. Our judges at Octagon side are Cecil Peoples, Abe Bellardo, and Tony Weeks. And now, it's time for the Battle of the Giants. This fight is 5 rounds for the title of UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Introducing first, the contender standing to my left. He is an expert in wrestling and holds a mixed martial arts record of 12 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 264 pounds. Fighting out of San Luis Obispo, California, please welcome the Giant, Gan McGee. And introducing the champion standing to my right. He is an expert in the Miletich fighting systems. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 17 wins with no losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 262 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, he is the UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Tim Sylvia was a 5-1 underdog against Rico Rodriguez. Rico couldn't take him down. Sylvia got the victory by TKO at 309. Now McGee wants the victory, which would be a defining moment in his career.
All right,
Dan
here we
McGee.
go, UFC Heavyweight Championship. Are
Tim
you ready?
Sylvia.
Are you ready? Let's get it
Heavyweight
on.
Championship is on the line. Mandalay Bay Event Center. Sylvia's undisputed in the heavyweight class. Now he wants to be a defending heavyweight champion.
Gan McGee looks very relaxed in there. Very relaxed throwing the jab. He looks very calm, considering he's fighting for the UFC heavyweight title. Look at his face. Just looks like a day in the office. Very relaxed. He almost has a smirk on his face.
Sylvia's got great technique for a big man. Great technique.
Well, absolutely, you have to if you train with Milicic's fighting camp.
You're absolutely right. I mean, those guys go toe-to-toe every day. 3 years with the Milicic camp, and you can see it.
Oh.
Remember, McGee's wrestling is excellent. But we kind of think we're going to see a slugfest here.
A lot of those guys from the pit, they have that style. Excellent wrestlers who are good strikers. Keep you standing up. You can't take them down. And when they stand up with you, they blast you. Nice. Nice right hand by McGee.
You just described Chuck Liddell, didn't you?
He's very relaxed, though. He keeps his hands down. His hands are very low, which is probably not the best idea. Tim Sylvia's got a vicious right hand that he showed against Rico Rodriguez.
McGee went toe-to-toe with Pedro Hizzo, so we know he's got a great chin.
He was also all over Josh Barnett in their bout until he gassed out.
You're right.
Whoa.
There's a good combination. Sylvia, he's the one closing the gap. Hard to find a guy 6'10" to train with, so there might be some feeling out here on the long reach of Gan McGee.
The both of them, they're just not used to seeing guys as big as themselves. Big right hand. Big right hand.
And down goes McGee.
He's rocked.
Sylvia trying to finish it.
And
it is all over. It is all over. Tim Sylvia defends his belt and does it quickly.
He's out bad. He's still out. His neck is up.
Tim Sylvia with a big right hand has knocked out Gan McGee.
Wow.
Waited, time delivered, and devastated.
Like I was saying before, Gan McGee looked very relaxed. His hands were down low, which probably isn't the best idea when you're facing a guy with that kind of right hand power. I guarantee you one thing, Tim Sylvia will never be a 5-1 underdog for anyone ever again. Yeah, bring on Fedor now. Pride heavyweight champion.
No kidding, huh?
That's the man in the heavyweight division right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at that big right hand.
Bam!
That's it, on the button. The first one rocked him, the second one on the button. You notice when they were standing, he's just out there. Big John McCarthy wisely wrestles him away and rescues him. See, Tim Sylvia has a much more classic boxing style with his hands up, protecting himself. The first right hand rocked him a little, but the second one right on the button, and McGee goes down.
And Sylvia finishes.
There's a reason why guys keep their hands up and their shoulders up and their chin tucked down. Tim Sylvia had the classic boxing stance. Gan McGee was very loose and open, and he paid for that.
Bring on Fedor, huh?
Absolutely. Pride heavyweight champion Emelianenko Fedor is considered one of the best heavyweights in the world right now. But I gotta think right now, Tim Sylvia would have an advantage over him.
There he is. Shaq Daddy's in the house.
Somebody teach that guy how to fight.
And he's sporting the UFC hat. And the crowd loves it. They are on their feet at the Mandalay Bay. Shaq has arrived. So, see, now what did I say? If you're looking for somebody who's big, bring in the NBA, and here comes Shaquille O'Neal.
Teach Shaq how to spar.
Oh, my. Well, didn't he do it in Kazam or whatever? Wasn't he sparring there?
I think that's real.
Nah, you know what? You're right. That was a movie. That's an excellent point. Bruce Buffer's all about reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout in round number 1 at 1 minute 54 seconds. For the winner, and still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.
Eddie Bravo with the champion.
I'm here with the UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia. Tim, congratulations on a phenomenal victory. How does it feel to finally prove you are the #1 heavyweight in the world?
Well, first of all, I got a long spiel, okay? So get ready. I need to thank Joe Gold, Foreign Contact Fighter, InternationalSportswear.com, Fairtex, Rock Hard Nutritions, K's and Supplements, Westlake Mortgage, my team, of course, Milicich Fighting System, my chiropractor, Mark Schmall, I want to thank all the guys up in Utah, Walt Bayless Combat Jiu-Jitsu. I had to go up here and train in the altitude. My main man, Jeremy Horn, was by my side the whole time, getting me ready for this fight. I love all the guys here. All the fans here, I had a huge, huge crowd, and I believe that's them right up there. I want to thank them all. They're all maniacs, man. Everybody back in Maine, Ellsworth, Eastbrook, Waltham, Franklin, all my friends back in Iowa. I love you all. Quad City Accelerations.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at the end of the fight. This is the big right hand, the drop scan.
We just made sure we kept our hands up. We knew that I was a better striker than him, and he tried his shot. I underhooked, shucked him to the side. When I hit his chin, I knew he buckled. I jumped on him again to establish the knockout.
All right, congratulations once again. How about a big round of applause, gentlemen, for the UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia.
1 second, I want the mic.
All right. Tim wants to say one more thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Pride being better than the UFC. Rico went over there, showed him a thing or two. Bring Pride on. Wherever they are, I'll take them on, I don't care. Bring on the best heavyweight. Let's see what they got, baby.
All right, congratulations one more time, Tim. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Super night so far. Let's continue. In the heavyweight division, Andrei Arlovski against Vladimir Matyushenko. Matyushenko trains in LA. He might be a Shaq Daddy fan and a Laker fan now. One thing we know, this is truly the Battle of Belarus. Hail of the Tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. 8 years difference between the two Belarusians. Andrei Arlovski is 6'3", 243, over 20 pounds heavier, 24 in fact, than Matyushenko, and a 3-inch advantage in the reach. Could that be a factor in a slugfest? Time will tell. Vladimir Matyushenko. Andrei Arlovski.
Look for Matyushenko to take this fight to the ground.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's rock and roll.
And Arlovski to try to keep it up on his feet.
The master of Sambo against the 5-time
big right hand.
Russian wrestling champion. And there to the ground he will try to go. Good sprawl by Andrei Arlovski.
Matyushenko didn't want any of that stand-up as soon as he felt that right hand. He immediately tried to take him down.
Now this reach is something I think Vladdy's going to have to size himself up against.
The reach and the power. The guy's got vicious punching power. And again, only 24 years old. Stood toe-to-toe with Pedro Hizzo until he got caught with a big right hand and dropped and knocked out. But he learned from that.
That's a lean 242.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the fact that big right hand.
And now he's trying to finish Matyushenko. Arlovski teeing away with the right. Landless is watching to see if Matyushenko can intelligently defend himself. And Vladdy does.
Arlovski with a guillotine. He wants to step out of this, I'm sure. But Arlovski does have excellent submission skills as well. He just prefers to strike.
While Vladdy is a wrestler, he's more of a pure wrestler than a jiu-jitsu master. In fact, he is a pure wrestler. So he didn't want to be on his back either.
Good takedown defense by Arlovski. Oh.
Wow, that reach is a definitive advantage here for Arlovski.
Arlovski's clearly the better striker, too. Every time Vladimir steps in to swing, he takes a... Whoa.
Looked like a slip.
Watch the knee.
Whoa.
Now Larry's
Big
going to
knee.
jump in. It was a knee to a downed opponent. Because even if one knee's down, you're still on the 3-point. It's still a downed opponent. So no knee to the head, and he's been penalized a point.
Vladdy with a good leg kick, and Vladdy tries to take him down, but he winds up mounted.
Oh my.
No!
Full
Very
mount.
bad
This
position.
is a bad position for Vladimir Matyushenko.
Vladdy went to take him down and stumbled and wound up being mounted. This is very bad. Now he's turning his back. Arlovski's got the hooks in. He steps away.
Arlovski just wants to tee on the toes, baby. Tee on the toes.
Oh, nice right uppercut.
Straight kick.
Vladdy is definitely... Oh, he's
down
out.
he goes. And it is all over. It is all over. Referee Larry Landless has stopped the fight. Andrei Arlovski dominant against Vladimir Matyushenko.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout at 2 minutes, 14 seconds of the very first round. For the winner, the Pitbull, Andrei Arlovski.
Tim Sylvia better keep his eyes out on that guy. That's a fight I would love to see. Tim Sylvia and Andrei Arlovski. Is that a dream match or what?
You may very well get to see it. So Andrei Arlovski is victorious, and he wins the Battle of Belarus. Still ahead, our featured matchup here tonight, UFC 44, 40-year-old Randy the Natural Couture, the only man to wear the belt in not one but two weight classes. The two-time heavyweight champion, the interim light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture, takes on Tito Ortiz to find out who rules at 205 pounds. Randy's been uncharacteristic a bit too. He has actually spoken out on Tito's absence against Chuck Liddell. Trying to play some mind games, I think, with Tito Ortiz.
Randy's talked a little trash. He said that Tito was afraid. He said Tito was afraid of Chuck Liddell, and then he disposed of him for him, and then he said he's coming for Tito next. He said it in the cage. He said, Tito, you want this belt? You got to come and take it.
40 years old, and he looks better than ever. When we saw him at the weigh-in yesterday, Randy Couture, I'm sorry, but every woman in the room just went, oh my gosh, 40 years old.
It's incredible. He's shredded. He's, he dominates guys. I mean, he's fighting guys 10 years younger than him, and he's controlling the fight, and he's the one who's not gassing. I mean, he's completely defying age.
Echo Cardio Man, Echo Freak from the Echo Challenge in Fiji.
Also, I talked to Ryan Parsons, who's their chiropractor, and he's also the nutritionist for Team Quest, and he told me that he's got Randy's diet completely changed. Randy's now on an all-alkaline diet where he feeds them all these greens. He's got this crazy green powder he mixes in with his water, all green leafy vegetables. He's eating fish, very little red meat, a much lower protein diet, and it's a very scientific approach to changing his body and making his body and his blood more oxygenated and making his cardio better. And he said Randy's never been in better shape. At 40 years old, he's just a cardio machine.
For those of you interested, it would be at alkaline.com, perhaps.
I don't know what it is.
This is where we had our first show in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Event Center on the beautiful Las Vegas Strip. A star-studded affair, including the retaining of the belt in the heavyweight division by the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. And still coming up, our featured matchup, 40-year-old Randy Couture against the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz. Tonight, it's about being undisputed. Tito did not fight Chuck. Randy defeated Chuck. They both own belts. Only one belt leaves the octagon here tonight. Tito and Randy. All right, it's time to get it going. Undisputed, the theme for tonight. The fans are ready. The world is ready to see Tito Ortiz and Randy the Natural Couture collide. I'll tell you what, at 40 years old, he is by far the most composed and the most inspiring competitor ever to be in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Tonight, his greatest test, the original Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz.
To get ready for this fight against Randy Couture, I brought myself up here in pure isolation for 12 weeks. Before, I've only did 6 weeks. I'm not only running up ski slopes, I'm strapping guys on ropes on a bike and pulling them up hills as hard as possible. I'm trying to push myself to the extreme.
Anything that he does, I can do just a little bit better. I've got a good group of guys that make me work, that force me to be sharp, and would love nothing more than to put knots on my head just to say they did it. I've been wrestling for 30 years. I've wrestled at a world-class level. You know, Tito wrestled in junior college and college at Bakersfield for a year.
This ain't wrestling, man. This is fighting. This is ultimate fighting, and there's nothing like it.
I think the bell rings, and it's going to be who gets a takedown and is able to establish that top position, that dominant position.
In Randy's mind is exactly the same as a fan's mind. Don't let Tito Ortiz take me down.
And he didn't hold the championship for as long as he did, being a slouch, but I don't think he stepped in there and fought anybody that's that's going to come after him like I'm going to come after him.
For this fight, I think my game plan is to pick Randy apart on the feet. I'm going to do what no one has ever done. That's knock Randy Couture out on his feet. Randy fights great, but I'm a great fighter.
I certainly deserve that belt.
That belt around Randy's waist, it's a joke.
I stepped up and fought Chuck Liddell, the #1 contender, and he wasn't willing to fight him.
Once I beat up Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell's next.
We need to have an undisputed title, and that's what we're doing. Tito needs to step in there, and we need to settle it once and for all.
Two absolute animals. Oh my goodness, the time has arrived.
Man, I got goosebumps just thinking about this. Randy Couture is the most inspirational man I think I've ever seen in my life. 40 years old, trains like a savage, unbelievable wrestler, developing kickboxing skills at like age 38, training with Maurice Smith, striking with Pedro Hizzo, outstriking Chuck Liddell. And then you got Tito Ortiz, who definitely's got something to prove. Tito Ortiz furious. People calling him a coward. He's never run from anybody. He's just trying to renegotiate his contract, and everybody calls him a coward. He didn't fight Chuck Liddell, but then Randy did, and Randy took the glory from him, and he wants it back bad.
Well,
you can just see it in his eyes.
He has his chance. I just talked to Trisha Couture. She said, I'll feel better in 25 minutes. She hopes she will.
She hopes she will.
We know who she's rooting for. How about some of the other celebrities in attendance here tonight?
This is Michael Clark Duncan. Tonight, my prediction personally is Tito Ortiz for the knee strikes and the elbow strikes. I think he brings a little bit more energy. I love Couture. He's a veteran champion. But tonight, I think it is Tito's night.
It's going to be a tough fight. We know they're both as good as they're going to get. The two warriors. It's hard to say. I just know Tito is so explosive and dynamic. It's hard to get out of the way of them punches and kicks. And you've got the calm and collected Randy. Who knows?
Oh, tonight's the fight. I got my money on Tito Ortiz. You know, hopefully he'll get this victory and shut Randy Couture mouth up. I've known Tito for 10+ years. I predict every in this round is a victor. Anybody who gets up in this circle is an animal, a champion. But Tito is above and beyond the rest.
I'm a big fan of Tito's, and he's going to win tonight.
Well, you know, I'm here tonight representing for the XFC and the UFC. Tito Ortiz, the main man, punishment. Go put it down on Randy tonight. He's going down in 2, less than 2. Believe it.
I'm going to have to go with Tito Ortiz tonight. Randy Couture is tough, but Tito Ortiz, he's something else. He's got everything, the whole package.
The celebrities certainly feel pretty unanimous that this is going to be Tito Ortiz's night.
I don't know why they could be so sure. Randy Couture brings everything to the table. He's easily as good a wrestler, if not a better wrestler. Easily as good a striker, if not a better striker. But one thing I think that Tito Ortiz has that a lot of people aren't aware of is very underrated jiu-jitsu submission skills.
Well, there he is, the most inspirational figure in the world of mixed martial arts. Captain America, the natural, Randy Couture enters the octagon.
Ever improving at age 40. I mean, this guy is just phenomenal. Will not let Father Time get a chokehold on him. 40 years old, outstriking kickboxer Chuck Liddell, body slamming the guy who has got the best takedown defense in MMA and completely demolishing him in 3 rounds. That's the man right now at 205 pounds. Tito Ortiz had a dominating victory over Ken Shamrock, but he's got to beat this man to be the top dog.
Just a plain old gray hooded sweatshirt with a little bit of a logo on. That epitomizes what Randy the Natural Couture is all about.
Absolutely, that's his style. I mean, this guy has inspired so many people to start training again. I mean, at age 40, like you were saying in the weigh-in, he's chiseled. He's got, I mean, you saw his face, took his face out of the picture, put some masking tape over it. That's a 25-year-old super athlete.
4-time world team member, Pan Am American Games champion, 4-time national champion in Greco-Roman, 3-time All-American in college, 2-time runner-up in the NCAAs, two-time UFC heavyweight champion, interim light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture. And there he is, the light heavyweight champion, Tito, the Huntington Beach bad boy Ortiz.
I have never seen Tito so focused. I have never seen Tito so angry. He was in the ring today warming up, stepping into the octagon, throwing shadow boxes, throwing kicks. He looks mean and ready. This guy has a lot to prove. There's a lot of people calling him a coward, saying that he ducked Chuck Liddell, and he wants to show them that he's the top dog at 205 pounds. He's the champion. He resents the fact that Randy has this interim title, which he believes is bogus. He's the champion. He believes you have to beat him to take the championship, and I agree. I think Randy Couture is the #1 contender. Tito Ortiz is the champion. Randy must beat Tito to be the top man. And Tito wants to prove to everyone tonight that he's the top man at 205 pounds.
He has stated on frequent occasion that Randy Couture is my mentor, but the 5-time defending champion wants to put that man, Randy Couture, on his list of victims. Our featured matchup tonight for the light heavyweight title, it will be undisputed when we're done this evening. Champion against champion. Joe, your keys to victory.
They both have very similar styles. They're both excellent wrestlers who are also very good at striking. They both want to impose their will and dominate the fight. The only difference that I see is age. Tito Ortiz is 28 years old. Randy Couture is in phenomenal shape at 40. But is that a factor? If they're both training just as hard, does Tito's body recover more? Does Tito's body recover faster? Does he have more energy? That's yet to be seen. I also think Tito Ortiz has underrated submission skills. He has excellent jiu-jitsu skills that a lot of people aren't aware of because he likes to beat people down.
Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. They are exactly the same size. A dozen years separate champion and champion. Ortiz, Couture, the official introductions with the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, Chairman, and Commissioners Dr. Tony Alamo, Skip Avancino, John Bailey, Dr. Flip Homansky, and Mark Ratner, Executive Director. Our doctor at Octagon side is Dr. William Berliner. Our 3 judges for this bout are Nelson Hamilton, Jeff Mullen, and Marcos Rosales. This event is sponsored by the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. And now, live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, it's time to begin the main event of the evening. This fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed title of UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World. Introducing first, the champion, standing to my left. He is the only 2-time heavyweight champion in UFC history and the only man to ever move down and win a championship title in another weight class. He is an expert in wrestling and holds a mixed martial arts record of 8 wins and 4 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Gresham, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion and the current interim UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy, the Natural Couture. And now, introducing the champion, standing to my right. He is the most dominant light heavyweight champion in UFC history. And tonight, he goes for his 6th title defense. He is a submission fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 11 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 5-time defending UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, the Huntington Beach Bad Boy, Tito Ortiz.
I have never seen Tito this angry. He looks so amped up.
Look at Fernando Vargas and Bobby Jackson.
Tito looks fired up for this fight.
So does Bobby Jackson. That man is Randy Couture. He was smiling the whole time.
He's so calm.
Oh my goodness, is this ever going to be good? Undisputed. Big John McCarthy. Who else? Our referee.
All right, for the Undisputed Light Heavyweight Championship, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Let's get it on, baby! We've been waiting all night. We've been waiting for months. And the time is now.
Tito got double underhooks, but Randy shook it off.
Tito trying to steal a page of Randy's book with a little Greco. And the clinch here quickly. Remember how Randy was able to take Chuck Liddell down frequently. The strategy in the 2 camps has had to have been unbelievable.
Tito's really trying hard for the takedown here.
Absolutely.
Randy's defending, but it looks like Tito's got a leg.
There's no question ground and pound is the technique
Watch your head.
that Randy Couture does not like to have used against him.
They both want to get the other one on their back.
You're absolutely right.
The real question is who operates better from their back. Randy has lost a couple times being on his back. Both those times to much larger opponents. Josh Barnett and Rico took control of their fight when they got Randy on his back. Tito's never been put on his back, but Tito does operate very well from his back. I've seen Tito do jiu-jitsu. Tito has an excellent guard. He's an excellent jiu-jitsu guy. He just doesn't like to use it. He's told me before, when he gets guys down, he doesn't want to submit them. He wants a beat on them. He says, if you tap out, you feel all right about it, but if I pound you down, you never forget it. He goes, I want to pound those guys out. I can submit them. I don't want to.
Look at the takedown defense by Randy Couture and a knee to the midsection of Tito Ortiz. And
Nice knee
there's
by
an
Tito.
answer by Tito. Randy with the clinch pushed up against Tito. Look, he tried to kick the right foot out, go for that big takedown that worked against Chuck Liddell. Tito, as you said, has never been taken down in his UFC career.
He's also never fought a guy that's as good a wrestler as Randy Couture. He fought Vladimir Matyushenko, but Vladimir had a really hard time making the 205-pound weight limit, and I think that sucked him dry. Tito dominated that fight, however. Randy's got double underhooks.
Wow, are both of these guys exhausting some energy here quickly.
If Randy can lock his hands together, he might be able to take Tito down. He's got them locked together now. This is a dominant position for Randy. This is a better position.
Well, first it was Tito attempting to control and get the first takedown, and now, as you said, Randy looks closer to having that opportunity.
Randy's so calm, and he's such just a consummate professional.
Good knees in the clinch by both of these competitors. Tito with the left into the midsection, and there's the takedown.
He's got his back.
Randy
He's got
Couture
one
is
hook
taking
in.
him down.
He's got the choke in.
Can he finish quickly?
He's got to get his second hook in. He's got to get his right leg over and hook in, or Tito's going to roll into guard. Randy's still got his back. He's got to get his right leg hook in. Nope, Tito rolled it out.
Nice work by Tito Ortiz.
Very nice.
But he was taken down.
But you know what? Now Tito's got Randy down. Randy's getting up, though.
Everything is advertised here in the first 3 minutes. This is going to be a deep and long war.
Absolutely, Randy's up. This is very evenly matched. That's what I was saying. All these guys that are saying that Tito's going to run through him, you're crazy. This is going to be a war.
The chance of Tito here at the Mandalay Bay.
They love Tito here.
Randy ducks underneath. Now will they strike? Tito has really claimed that his boxing has gone through the roof.
Oh, it clearly has. You can see just him warming up. When he was shadow boxing, his combinations were lightning fast. And his leg kicks. Working out with noted Muay Thai trainer Colin Oyama. I'm sure even though he hasn't fought in a while, he's been training like an animal. He takes his title of UFC champion very, very seriously. Even though the guy hasn't been fighting for a while, he's...
Oh, there's the big takedown. There's the big takedown we saw Couture utilize against Liddell.
Randy's got him in side control. Knees to the body. Like I said before, Tito does have an excellent guard. He's just never had an opportunity to use it. Let's see if it comes up here.
He may get more than one opportunity tonight.
I know he's been training off his back a lot. He's had his training partners put him on his back, and he starts from there. He's prepared himself to be in this position. But have his training partners been as tough as Randy Couture? Now he's rolling. Oh, he's gonna go for a sweep here.
Tito with good defense. Half guard now.
Keep it working.
What an action-packed first round for the light heavyweight championship.
Tito's rolling over. He's gonna try to get to his knees.
Taken down not once, but twice. In round number one was Tito Ortiz.
I gotta give that round to Randy.
Good job.
This is a war, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt.
Good work, good work.
Look at how fresh Tito looks.
All right, here Randy almost had the choke. He needed to get his right leg in as a hook. He had his arm across Tito's neck. He just could not secure that right leg over. It's open right there. He just needed to lift his right leg up and put it over Tito's right leg. And here's a takedown. He's got double underhooks. Boom! Just like he did with Chuck. That's the first time Tito's ever felt that in the octagon.
Team Quest.
40 years young, Randy Couture, Captain America.
Seconds out! Seconds out! Let's
Shaking
go.
it out. Now, Tito said he thought that Randy was tired in that second round against Chuck Liddell. The Eco Freak.
Look at him.
And the Cardio King.
Are you ready? You ready? Let's get it on!
Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Randy has never been defeated by a striker. He's outstruck the best strikers. High kick.
Oh, nice.
Defended nicely. Couture again wants the takedown.
Double underhooks by him again. Tito tries to reverse it. Wow, Randy's out muscling Tito here.
Do you think that?
He's
Oh,
got it
my
again.
goodness.
Randy is out muscling Tito Ortiz in the clinch. Tito appears to be tired.
Close guard and Couture trying to work Tito Ortiz up against the fence.
Nice elbows inside by Randy.
Belfort, Smith, Randleman, Hizzo twice.
This is a
Liddell.
dose of Tito's own medicine.
They've all been defeated by Couture. Many in this fashion, Joe.
This is a dose of Tito's medicine. This is usually in the position where Tito finds himself, on top of a guy pounding him against the fence.
Keep working.
He does not like this, I guarantee it. He's never faced adversity in the octagon except the one time when he fought Frank Shamrock. His only other loss, he got caught in a quick submission by Guy Metzger when he was a relative newcomer to the sport. He was basically a wrestler who was training with Tank Abbott, who was just a really tough guy.
That was 6 years ago. That was May of 1997. Man, he has changed since that point.
Absolutely, he's evolved tremendously. But has he had the level of competition that Randy's faced? Randy's faced Kevin Randleman. He's faced Pedro Hizzo twice. Josh Barnett. He's faced the top of the food chain, Rico Rodriguez in the heavyweight division. And then coming down to 205, he looked unstoppable against Chuck Liddell. And look at him here. Tito Ortiz on his back getting pounded against the fence.
Ortiz has beaten Metzger and Bolander. Silva and Kondo, Tanner and Elvis, Matyushenko and Shamrock. And Randy Couture, the chants are starting to pump out from the Pacific Northwest. Couture. Gresham, Oregon. Randy trying to rain down on Tito. Working that left hand to take the breath away, the breathing pattern of Ortiz a bit.
Tito so far is not doing anything in his guard. He's just trying to keep his hands up and avoid being pounded. He's not trying to sweep. He's not trying to hold him down. He's not trying for submissions. He's actually doing pretty much the same thing that Ken Shamrock did against him.
Passes with one leg. He's in the half now.
If Randy can mount Tito, Tito's going to be in some serious trouble here. He's very tired.
Especially against the fence, Joe.
And he's taking those short, hard elbows to the face. Plus, is Tito used to this? He's not used to this. This hasn't happened to him. He's always been the front runner. He's always been the guy dominating the fight. He's never really had a tough moment in a fight. I mean, he got rocked once by Mandalay Silva, and he came back to control him. But he's never been in a position like this before.
Don't forget UFC.tv, great UFC programming in October. Log on for the latest and the greatest, the networks and the times. UFC.tv, full results from tonight's UFC 44 Undisputed. Congratulations to Tim Sylvia defending his heavyweight belt. There will be no arguing, there will be no interim. There will be no, I didn't fight you, you didn't want to fight him. No questions left after the end of this one.
Randy's almost past his guard now. He's just got to avoid that left leg. He's got it. He's past the guard. Nope. Now he's back in the half guard. Tito's trying to stand up. He's got a hold of Randy's head.
Tito trying to work the solar plex area of the chiseled Randy Couture. 40 years old. 12 years older than Tito Ortiz. And Couture showing the great will and determination in this ground game. Putting Tito on a position we have not seen him in for years, if at all.
Uh-oh, Tito's going for an armbar.
We know Tito does have submissions.
He's never used them in the UFC, but he definitely does possess them. We saw him submit Yuki Kondo, but he hasn't really used submission skills other than that.
The old net crank. Randy dominant for 10 minutes of action here. Final 5 seconds of round number 2, which has been all Randy the Natural Couture.
Nice elbows inside by Randy. A total dominating round for the Natural. And Tito says something to Randy when Randy stands up.
This fight seems very reminiscent of what Randy was able to do against Rico Rodriguez for the first couple of rounds. Then Rico started to take over.
Let's take a look at that takedown. Randy's got double underhooks, trips the leg, boom. Presses him up against the fence, which is what Tito likes to do to his opponent. Here he goes again. This is a second look. Randy's not even winded. Whatever this guy's eating, I want to eat it. It's not that crazy diet. I want to try it.
Alkaline.com.
I don't know what it is. Crazy leafy green vegetables and fish. I want to get a list from Ryan Parsons. Tell me what to eat.
Ortiz. The celebrities in the house tonight love it. Randy Couture.
Michael Clark Duncan rethinking his prediction.
Yeah, no question. Everybody seemed to predict that Tito would be the victor.
You ready? Let's get it on.
Randy looks focused, and Tito's looking a little nervous right here.
Two of the best, if not the best, mixed martial artists in the
Oh,
world.
nice right hand by Tito.
Maybe Tito changed his strategy a bit.
Tito does have much improved stand-up. Maybe he thinks that's a better idea for him right now.
Looking for another takedown is Randy Couture, staying with his game plan. That's the one thing about Couture that he's so disciplined with. Staying with the game plan, being persistent in what he feels is going to be most effective. Can he get Tito down again? Yes, he can.
Unbelievable.
Persistence and dominance.
He's a pit bull.
This is a guy who looked up to Kenny Monday when he was aspired to wrestle and compete like Kenny did, the Olympic champion from 1988. On numerous occasions, Randy the Natural Couture just missed Olympic opportunities. He's represented himself so well as a champion in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
I mean, he's just got unbelievable will and desire that's so hard to overcome. I mean, his conditioning is just second to none. Look at this position. He's got Tito in a crucifix position where Tito literally can't use his arms. He locks one arm up with his legs, the other one up with his other arm, and he's just gonna try to pound him from here.
And Tito has been neutralized for the entire second round, and here for 90 seconds of round number 3.
He can't defend these punches here. While he's got both of his arms locked up, okay, Tito rolls over to his back. He's in a crucifix. He can be submitted here.
Well, that's the big question. Other than the ground and pound, how does Randy finish? We've never seen him finish other than the ground and pound.
Tito's got a hold of Randy's leg now, trying to turn it around. But he's taking punches. He's got a hold of his ankle. If he can pull Randy's right ankle out, he'll have Randy on his back. Right there.
Nice call.
Randy stands up. Nice knee to the body by Tito.
This is very much like the Rico.
Nice turnaround.
But we didn't see that type of turnaround in that fight.
This guy is just so frustrating. It's got to be so for you. Just think, all right, he's got to get tired eventually, and he doesn't. And he's 40.
Relentless. Randy, the natural Couture.
What an inspirational athlete.
Tito's got a lot of those Tito maniacs around the world. They're looking for him to make his move.
His will is just unsurpassed. His will is just completely dominating. He takes guys' hearts away. I mean, you saw it with Kevin Randleman. You saw it with Pedro Hizzo. You saw it with Chuck Liddell. He's just an unbelievably dominant competitor.
And the chants are starting to change. The crowd is starting to shift towards the natural.
Absolutely. Tito is taking some punches here. Does not look good. He's defending a lot of them.
There's a good elbow.
Absolutely.
There's a good elbow. What can Tito do, Joe?
Well, he's got to lock him up in the guard and try to control him. He's got to control his head, go to full guard, control his body, and try to sweep him. What he's doing right now is not working. He's just basically holding on and hoping Randy makes a mistake. But Randy's maintaining the position, and he pounds him through the entire round. That's what he did through the entire second round. He's doing it through this round. And look, you see Tito's guard. It's just laying there. Reminiscent of how Ken Shamrock fought against him on the bottom. Tito's got to get up from here. He's got to grab a hold of Randy's body and lock his legs. He's got to do that. He's got to stop him from raining these punches down, or he's never going to turn the tide. He's taking some punches here.
Randy working the elbow. Tito trying to strike back from the guard. And Randy does not appear to be fatigued at all, trying to pass the guard. In the half now, the right leg is in.
As tired as Tito is, if Randy passes him, he's going to be in big trouble.
35 seconds left in round 3.
Oh, Randy's passed. He's just got to get Tito's left leg out, and he's completely passed. He's mounted! Oh,
and
Tito swept him
right
almost.
Back off.
Tito almost swept him.
Come on, let's go.
Time's going to run out on Randy if he does get the mount.
He's got it. He's got side control.
Time's going to run out here in round 3.
You know what? He can do a lot of damage in 5 seconds.
Oh, we've seen that, haven't we?
And there it is.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
That's a lot of moral damage, too. Believe me, Tito Ortiz is not happy right now.
What is going through the mind of Tito Ortiz?
Complete, total frustration, trying to figure out what to do. What's the game plan?
Score some points for me, man. No more clinching. Fire some shots on him. On the bottom, use your feet against his hips. Get away. Get away. Make him fight you, man. This guy's not fighting. He's starting wrong.
Here's a reversal. Randy gets Tito on his back. And pulls him away from the fence. Something that Tito's used to doing to his opponents.
This fight ain't over.
Well, Randy quoted a lot.
Unload the big ass knee.
Randy stated at the start that he wasn't going to hunt Tito down, that he was going to be conservative early. He was in the first round. He hunted him down with the takedowns in the second and third round.
Randy, at 40 years old, looks to be the fresher fighter entering into the 4th round. Unbelievable.
Now the corner set for Tito to throw some bombs early.
Oh, big right hand by Randy, and another
takedown immediately. And they are on their feet here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. That took no time at all. Tito tried to come out, get the strike as his corner had suggested, and Couture with cat-like speed drove in, got the double leg, and drives into the mat again. 4th round here.
Randy looks to be the stronger fighter. Unbelievable.
Randy
Tito's
trying to
going
pass.
for a sweep. Now Tito looks very frustrated.
You are absolutely right when you said earlier that he's taken a page or 2 or 3 out of Tito's book. Because this is what Tito does to opponents. Oftentimes, the opponents don't last as long as Tito's will has lasted, though.
The big question going into this fight is who fights better off their back. I thought it was going to be Tito, but Randy's just completely imposed his will on Tito here. And the crowd is chanting Randy now. The crowd that was booing Randy is now chanting for him.
Tito did go the distance against Vladimir Matyushenko, winning by unanimous decision. That was the other big wrestler that you had talked about. Neither have ever been doubted for their stamina and their cardio, and especially entering this very well publicized and anticipated matchup.
Tito did dominate Vladimir Matyushenko, but 1, Matyushenko had a hard time making 205 pounds, and 2, it was his first fight in the UFC. The first fight in the big show, you lose a lot of energy just from the adrenaline dump. You know, your adrenaline it gets to you, you're like, oh my God, am I really in the UFC? They close the cage, you see the cameras, you're like, whoa, I hope I don't get my ass kicked. And that takes a lot out of people.
Tonight, the heavyweights and the light heavyweights, Matt Hughes in the welterweight division. UFC 45 tickets go on sale tomorrow, November at the Mohegan Sun, don't forget.
Vicious knee to the body. Randy's got a hold of Tito's back again. If he can get those hooks in. He's got 1. He's rolling him over. He's got to get that second hook. He's got to get his right leg across Tito's right thigh. Otherwise, Tito's going to roll him over and he's going to be in his guard. Mount!
Full mount.
Randy's got the mount.
Here we go. Randy Couture, right, left, right, left.
Unbelievable.
John McCarthy watching. Couture teeing off on Tito Ortiz. The elbows, the mount.
This is a page out of Randy versus Chuck Liddell.
Randy Couture trying to end the fight here in the 4th round, sliding him in towards the fence.
Tito's doing a good job of blocking these, but some of them are getting through and he is not responding. Big John stopped the fight with Randy versus Josh Barnett for much the same type of punches.
Let's see, Tito has to intelligently defend himself. He's doing it right now. Couture dominant. Has the mount here in the 4th. And threw a bunch of punches at Tito Ortiz.
Tito's got to be wondering what he can do right now. He's pushing off the fence, trying to use the fence to roll Randy over. And he's got him.
Now remember, with all those punches, Randy did blow a lot of oxygen there.
But you know what? Tito blew a lot of oxygen defending them, and plus the frustration of being on his back with Randy mounting him and pounding him.
And he is still doing so.
Randy has faced more adversity in the octagon than Tito.
No question. No question at all.
I mean, has Tito mentally prepared himself to be in this position of being dominated and coming back and winning? That's the big question right here. We know he's a champion. We know he's a warrior. But has he mentally put himself in this position where this is going to happen? Big elbows.
This is absolute control and domination by Randy Couture.
This is very similar to Randy's fight with Chuck.
That one ended 2 minutes, 39 seconds into the 3rd. Tito is going to be so far behind on points as we enter the 5th round. He's pretty much going to have this fight stopped to come back and win.
Absolutely. He's lost every round, in my opinion.
And Couture just wants to maintain, push and maintain. Every
Let's
time
go.
we thought Tito might get a bit of reversal, it has not happened. One-sided, lopsided. Randy Couture will enter the 5th and final round with a huge lead on the judges' scorecard.
Unbelievably dominating performance by Randy Couture. Tito walks back to his corner, shaking his head in disgust and frustration. Let's take a look at Randy Couture. Mounting Tito, just raining down bombs. Tito trying to punch from the bottom. Big elbow. Here's a big right hand from Randy Couture. Bam. Right in the face. And then elbow. He blocks the punch. He comes over where the arm is not there, and he slams him down with an elbow.
So that's a bit. We can final round. Right. Choke him out, wrap your legs behind his back, and let's hope for everything. Seconds out. Go.
Colin Oyama, his coach, telling him to choke Randy out.
This is why they're called warriors.
Last round, you ready? Are you ready?
20 minutes. They've gone 20 minutes, and now these last 5 minutes.
This is going to decide it.
Unless there is a miraculous turnaround, it's already decided.
Tito has got to do something.
Yeah, he desperately needs to avoid this takedown early again.
Big right hand.
And Randy will go toe-to-toe for a second, but you know he's looking to shoot. You know he's looking for his chance to clinch or to take down. Look at Tito just lifting those legs up a little bit, trying to avoid the takedown.
Tito's looking very frustrated.
Extremely frustrated. And you pointed out, shook his head in disgust. Is he not able to display any of his game here tonight? Because Couture is pressed and pressed and pressed again.
I mean, this guy's just incredible. Who would have thought at age 40 years old? I mean, Tito said, no 40-year-old guy is going to beat me. He said that before the fight.
Faster, stronger, down to 205. Has changed his lifestyle.
Come on, let's go.
From extreme and ultra dynamic cardio man to the eco freak. That's what he's changed his lifestyle to.
Like I said before, I talked to his coach, his chiropractor and nutrition coach, Ryan Parsons, who explained to me the diet that he's got Randy on. He's down again.
If he can hold on here for another 3 minutes, Randy Couture will undoubtedly be the undisputed light heavyweight champion.
Randy's not trying to hold on. He's trying to keep pounding him. He wants to decide this one on his own. Tito has 3 minutes to do something.
Tito felt that Randy had gassed a little bit against Chuck. I don't know. I don't see any bit of fatigue from Randy Couture here tonight, nor Tito Ortiz for that matter.
Tito's just frustrated. He's a cardio machine as well, but you know what? That doesn't do any good when you're on your back getting pounded. I mean, he hasn't gassed, he hasn't worn himself out, but he has been beaten down.
Two and a half minutes remains here in the 5th and final round.
Short elbows by Randy.
Come on, work.
Randy just continually pounding away. Looking to pass Tito's guard now.
Way out, let's go.
Tito's trying to stand up.
Randy's
got a hold of his back though. Suplex.
Good night.
Oh, man. Randy can get his back here again. Just got to get his hooks in. He's got a hold of him. He's inside control. No, he let Tito get in the half guard. He doesn't mind this. He's very content to just pound him away and elbow him from this position.
One minute and 20 seconds remains.
Unless Tito can pull out a miracle victory by submission or knockout, somehow Randy Couture has defied the odds, and at age 40 years old has completely dominated another young opponent.
So he'll become the first four-time champion and the first with 2 titles in 2 different classes.
Incredible.
Tricia Couture said she'll feel better in 25 minutes. She was right about the 25 minutes. She was also right about feeling better.
Tito's rolling for a knee bar. Tito roll for a knee bar. If Tito's got the energy, no, Randy's stepping out of it. He's got 37 seconds to pull this off. Randy's patting Tito
Oh my
in the ass.
goodness. There's a
Punching
shot.
him in the ass.
That was not a tap. That was not a tap. That's a pat. That's a statement.
He's spanking.
Oh my goodness. There's nothing Tito can do.
That is just humiliating right there.
Yeah, that is a huge statement.
Tito's got a hold of Randy's ankle, but he's not doing anything to it.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left, he's going to have to take it off. It's all over. Randy the Natural Couture, Captain America.
Unbelievable.
Is the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
That guy is my hero. Unbelievable. Tito just yelled in frustration and threw his mouthpiece on the ground. Unbelievable. 40 years young. Captain America, ladies and gentlemen. That's the baddest dude on the planet. Wow. What an impressive and inspirational athlete.
He did not fight Chuck. And during that time, Randy said, I'll come down. I'll fight Chuck. He defeated Chuck. And now Tito and Randy share a moment of class and admiration towards each other.
You know what? Tito Ortiz is 28 years old, 12 years younger than Randy. I'm sure he's going to learn from this. I'm sure he's going to be back. But this has got to hurt.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Now you got to work harder next time. Right, come here.
He has not lost in years. The 5-time defending champion. Last lost at UFC 22 to Frank Shamrock in the middleweight title fight. This man lost twice in the heavyweight division, and now he is rocking. Let's get the official word from Bruce Buffer in a very crowded octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for these UFC warriors. After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Nelson Hamilton scores the bout 50-44. Judge Jeff Mullen scores the bout 50-44. And Judge Marcos Rosales scores the bout 50-45 for the winner. And now, the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy the Natural Couture.
Incredible performance by Randy Couture.
Everything we thought he would bring. And it was too much for Tito tonight. Look at Tito Ortiz. I'll tell you what, the kid's grown up, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He has grown up. That's a champion to be proud of in Tito. And now the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Randy Couture. Eddie Bravo.
I'm standing here with the new, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy. You've done what no one has been able to do. You completely dominated Tito for 5 rounds. And at age 40, what's your secret?
I guess I'm a late bloomer, I don't know. I felt pretty good. Tito's been a great champion. He's had a long-standing run in light heavyweight division. I'm honored to have fought him tonight. He did a great job. Thank everybody for coming out. My sponsors, 24-Hour Team Sports, HCK, The Tire Barn, Submit.com, Nitro. Thank you all for your support. All my guys at Team Quest for getting me ready for this. Thanks, guys. My family. Thanks.
A lot of people thought that Tito had the wrestling skills and the youth behind it to out-wrestle you, but you knew that Tito wouldn't be able to out-wrestle you. How did you know that?
I've been wrestling for 30 years. I've been doing this a long time. I was confident in my ability to set him up and take him down. He was trying to get me to bite on the fact that he wanted to knock me out, but I knew his game plan hadn't changed. He's been a great ground and pounder. Tonight was my night.
All right, one more time, congratulations, Randy Couture. How about a big round of applause, gentlemen? What a great fight it was. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
What a moment for Randy Couture, another defining moment for Captain America, your UFC light heavyweight champion. Tonight's UFC Tap Out of the Night. We know what the dominating performance was. The Tap Out of the Night brought to you by our friends at tapoutinyourface.com. You saw it, Carl Parisian.
Caro with a beautiful takedown right into the Kimura, taps out Dave Strasser. Beautiful judo.
A night with 2 championships. A night where others would come closer to a title shot. The domination was displayed by Rich Franklin. And how about this man? David Loiseau overwhelmed by Jorge Rivera. A bit unexpected, but yet deserved. Heavyweight title still belongs to the Miletich camp. They've got a few belts hanging on the rafters in Iowa. Tim Sylvia makes short work. And Andrei Arlovski, is he the next man to challenge Tim Sylvia and his dominance in the heavyweight division? Arlovski's so impressive. And then the one we waited for, the natural, Randy Couture, the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz. Captain America dominates. Randy, the natural Couture, for 25 minutes, did what no one has ever done before, and that is totally control Tito Ortiz. A night for the records, a night that belongs to Randy, the natural Couture. For my partners, Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan, White Goldman saying so long from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, where the spanking belonged to Couture. He is undisputed, the light heavyweight champion. This has been Ultimate Fighting Championship 44. Couture reigns supreme. We'll see you in November, everybody.
You'll never get the best of us.